Hello and welcome to How to Deal When the Shit Gets Real podcast. I'm Rietta.
And I'm Connie. And we are two thankful cousins.
Because,
It's Thanksgiving.
Happy Turkey Day.
Yes, it's the Thanksgiving episode.
Well, happy day.
For the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, the day after. So hopefully y'all had a good Thanksgiving.
Happy Black Friday.
Yeah, you're out Black Friday shopping if that's your thing. I can't personally do it because,
Really?
I can't. No.
I love it. It became like 1 year. Mom wasn't necessarily like struggling for money, but she wanted to get us everything we wanted on our list. And like, that's the cheapest time. Like, if you're not buying throughout the year, it's not necessarily the cheapest time. I know a lot of people would be like, no, there's better sales at other times, but my mother is a procrastinator, guys. I'm telling you.
Yeah, she is for sure. I prefer Cyber Monday because I don't have to go anywhere.
Anyway, 1 year, I was like, no, come on, Mom. Like, let's do it. Let's wake up when you had to wake up at like 6 a.m. on Friday to go and get any of like the really good deals. It's like, let's do it. Let's wake up at 6 a.m. And we actually did it. Like, it was 1 year when I was in high school. And just from then, it's been like literally every year. Sometimes I would just go with my one girlfriend, and sometimes my mom would join us. Last year, all four of us went, me, Tom, my girlfriend, and my mom went.
I can't do it. I don't like people.
Even funnier was we were in line waiting for Menards because that's like the big one because they have some crazy deals, like especially like on dog beds, dog toys. Like they have all of the Christmas gift deals. People stand out in like this crazy long line, and we overheard two women who are like, okay, here's the plan. We're going to go for the dog beds. You're going to go this way. I'm going to go that way. And I turned to Tom and Rena. I said, your mission, should you choose to accept it. We were having a blast, and then we were singing music for Mission Impossible. We're like da 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 da, the dog bed mission. Na na na.
This is why I don't go with you guys.
All of that at 6 o'clock in the morning. Actually, no, more like 5 o'clock in the morning.
So
that's when this was going down.
So happy Black Friday, y'all. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. We have a lot of kind of interesting Thanksgiving memories.
Stories.
Yeah, stories,
and, like,
memories.
The food. Like, because we feel that a lot of, like, Thanksgivings, it's, like, different household to household. So.
Especially our household.
Well, yeah, and how it's kind of changed over the years, right? Because we used to.
Yeah. We used to go to Grandma's. Grandma's too old now.
Yes. And it used to be like an all-day thing. We were there until dinner, and we would get there at like 11 o'clock.
Yeah, we had dinner at noon.
Yeah, we would have Thanksgiving dinner at noon, and then Thanksgiving turkey sandwiches at like 5 or 6 o'clock.
And in between there, we would eat as many pumpkin squares as our little body could handle.
And I remember playing a lot of hide and seek at Grandma's house.
Yeah, well, Grandma had that creepy attic, so we would put on like blankets and pretend we were Power Rangers and
Oh yeah. And I remember that like Luke never wanted to give up his hiding spots. So once the first person was found, he would just like randomly stand out in the hallway and be like, I am a tree. Because he didn't want to give up his hiding spot. So he would come out from his hiding spot so that nobody would see him. And just like stand in the hallway and be like, I am a tree and I am not it anymore because somebody was already found.
Oh my goodness. I remember trying to like hide in the attic thinking I was being sneaky, like just opening the door and just sitting on the first step. And then somebody locked me in and
I do not remember you being locked in.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Luke or Mitchell, well, it couldn't have been Mitchell. He was too young. So it probably was Luke knowing how that went.
Exactly.
And I had one of those like Silent Hill moments where you're pounding on the door like, unlock the door! And by the time the door is unlocked, it's like your mom or my mom going, okay, who locked Rietta in the attic? And everybody's
And
like, not
no more playing in the attic.
Yeah. Because, the key used to be in there in that room. Grandma just kept the key like in that little like glass plate in that room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good times. Good times. I remember the creepy stairs.
The creepy stairs. Yep.
Yeah.
And we always were tattling on each other. We would take turns going to different aunts and uncles being like, Luke did this, Connie did this, Rachel did this, Rihanna did this. And they'd all be like, everybody
cared.
be nice.
Basically. Go back and play and be nice. The adults are talking.
And drinking. So leave us alone.
I do remember one year your mom getting pissed off because me and like Rachel, I think, or me, Rachel, and Mitch were in that. Remember that spare bedroom that had a TV that was right off the kitchen?
Mm-hmm.
We were on the TV watching like some horror movie, some sort of movie. Your mom was pissed because we wouldn't let her change the channel to football.
I was gonna say.
Then she took the remote and was like, "No, this is un-American. We are watching football." And I was like, "But I don't like football."
Yep, that would be my mom for sure. No
and then
doubt.
It was like, go somewhere else. And I think we went upstairs to that one bedroom that had the tiny TV.
Yep, and then we all crammed around the tiny TV. Mm-hmm.
Yes, watching James Bond because those movies were in that room.
Because those were Grandpa's favorite.
Mm-hmm. I did love watching the James Bond movies.
Oh, good memories.
Yes.
So, yeah, it started off at Grandma's house with like
everyone.
30 of us. And now it's kind of branched off to Connie does one, I do one. Yeah, and that's kind of it, isn't it? Oh, yeah, my mom does occasionally, yeah. And one of our uncles does one for his wife's side of the family, basically.
Yeah. And we are, like, we're not being mean. He does invite us. It's there is a lot of people and a lot of things going on, and it's just easier to have our own specific shrink one because there's not a ton of people anyway.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much.
And now there's going to be even less people because one aunt and uncle moved
away. Yeah.
Yes. So that now there's even like less. And now my Thanksgiving is combining my in-laws and my family all together, which I hope that'll be like a nice thing for when we have kids, because that's how I was semi-raised, was that both sets of my grandparents did stuff together.
Yes.
Actually, so.
Yeah, we used to, I used to go to both grandparents at some point, but their Thanksgiving was totally different because we're Swedish. That side of my family is Swedish, so we did a smorgasbord. So it was a very different version. And smorgasbord is actually more like Christmassy. So I might even be like, my memories might even be meshing together because it's been a long time. Let's be real. But still, either way, even if it was Christmas or Thanksgiving, they were very different than the Thanksgiving or Christmas that I had with the other side of the family.
Oh, for
sure. I just kind of took it over, obviously, because I don't live by anybody right now. So I kind of had to start doing it myself. And then my parents started coming out. And because we have other friends that their husbands might be deployed, or, just because we're close, like we started having like a Friendsgiving almost. Mm-hmm. And it's nice. But this year, we've made the amazing decision, because I've cooked it for the last 9-10 years. And there's a place on base that literally offers where you can buy it and they will give you an entire Thanksgiving dinner and you don't have to do anything. So none of us are going to cook. I'm just going to make fancy cocktails. And yeah.
I love it. That's great.
Yeah, I think I'm going to make like a caramel apple / like harvesty mimosa.
Oh, I'm going to do the same thing, but sangria, caramel apple sangria.
Ooh, there you go.
That's on my list for sure.
Well, I asked the girls, at least give me a base. Like, do you want sangria? Do you want mimosas? Do you want whiskey? Do you want vodka? Like, give me just like a base and I'll work from there. And they were like, champagne, mimosas. And I'm like, okay, well, that's easy. So we'll just like do champagne, a little bit of cranberry juice, a little bit of apple cider. Mm-hmm. Apple cider, and I might even try hard apple cider just to make it more boozy. We'll have to see. And then you put some cut up apples and some cranberries in there and make it look all pretty, and voila.
The end. Basically the same thing with the sangria, which I like, but adding caramel vodka
I thought about
to
that too, because caramel vodka, like, you can't. Well, I guess you can get it all the time. My mom was talking about pumpkin spice vodka and trying something with
that
that.
is gross to me.
I agree because I'm not, like we talked about before, I'm not a huge pumpkin spice person, but
I want my
it's
pumpkin
different.
spice. I want my pumpkin spice in two places, in donuts and in lattes.
There you
And
go.
a pumpkin pie. Like, I'll take a pumpkin pie, that's fine. But like, that's it. So for the like base meal, like, is it like the turkey and all the trimmings?
Yep. It's the turkey, the cranberry, the rolls, you even get a pumpkin pie with it, mashed potatoes, yams, stuffing, all the basics.
That's awesome. So is it like you and a bunch of friends and their kids
It's
going
not
over?
like a bunch of us. Obviously, we're trying to keep it somewhat controlled because of COVID, but it's like me, my two girlfriends, my one girlfriend, her husband's deployed too. She has two kids, and then the other girlfriend, her husband is here and she has one kid. So that's what, three, four, five. That's like seven of us, eight of us. So
Oh, that's not bad. But
yeah,
it's nice to have almost an extended family when you're away in Hawaii and can't be with your family.
yeah, it's just nice to not be alone, basically.
Oh, for sure. Nobody wants to be alone on a holiday.
I remember my mom got so mad at me when I was pregnant with Jackson because as I've talked about before, I was ridiculously sick. And she came over trying to be the good mom and like made everything, made the turkey, the dressing, blah, 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 blah. And I literally only ate mashed potatoes because it was like the only thing that, like, first of all, sounded appealing. And second of all, that my stomach could handle. And she was so mad. And I was like, I told you beforehand, I feel like shit. I'm sick. I don't feel good. There's very limited stuff that I want to eat. I was literally eating like a little kid. I was eating like applesauce and like pizza rolls and, like just random
Mashed
things.
potatoes.
Yeah, mashed potatoes, just random things. And I was like, you can't be mad at me when I literally warned you, but she was so freaking mad.
And you're like, you could have just not come over. I could have made mashed potatoes myself and you could just stayed away. If you
Right. And then she was mad that I didn't eat the leftovers either. And I'm like, what part of like, if I eat that, I'm going to vomit? Do you not understand? Like, I love Thanksgiving. I love stuffing. Like, I could eat stuffing for days. Not when I was pregnant.
that sucks.
Even just like the smell, like certain smells, like, ugh, I wanted to vomit. I don't know what it was about California. I usually left my windows open in California because like the air would get really stale, like more so than I've experienced anywhere else. And literally, like if I left my windows open and I left and I came back, I had to like prep myself to walk into my apartment to not throw up because just the smell of the stale air made me want to vomit.
Ugh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
But I've gotten that sometimes, and because my house is older, like if I don't, so say like even if you have like the windows opened, there's just sometimes like if it gets to a certain temperature where it'll because the house is older, that the air will just seem kind of stale. I have to keep the house fan on all the time
Mm-hmm.
because if I don't for especially like when it gets like warmer, if you don't
Yeah.
have the house fan on, then it seems like I'm like, okay, we've only not been here for like a couple days, guys, like it shouldn't.
Yeah. What's happening?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, in the cold it doesn't matter as much, but in the summer it's gross, so I can kind of understand that.
Yeah. I did. So it didn't go well. And it's pretty much permanently summer in California. So you see where that was going. All right. I have
Yes.
two questions for you.
Oh God. Mm-hmm.
Your favorite dish to eat on Thanksgiving and your favorite dish to make on Thanksgiving.
Mm, I actually really enjoy making the turkey
Mm-hmm.
because I'm kind of an experimental person, and it was really fun taking grandma's recipe on how she always does it.
Mm-hmm.
And I added a brine, and I started injecting the turkey with a mixture of like white wine, butter, and a little bit of chicken stock.
That sounds
To
delicious.
And literally everybody was like, this is the best turkey I've ever had. Even grandma said, oh, this is better than my turkey,
There you
which I
go.
was like, hey, because, because I brined it for 24 hours. Then I dried it off for 24 hours because that's what they say you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I had like rosemary, shallots, garlic, full peppercorns.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was freaking, what is it? Brown sugar, salt was all in that brine. So like that's a lot of flavor.
Yeah, it is.
And then what grandma normally does is, as you know, but our listeners do not, she soaks cheesecloth in butter and wraps the turkey in that. I
Mm-hmm.
did that on top of injecting the turkey with that mixture I talked about earlier of white wine
That's
and
awesome.
butter. So it turned out really good. It looked like a picture,
I love when they turn out like that.
which was great.
My dad said the same thing about my turkey. He was like, "This is so moist," and I'm sorry for the people out there that don't like that word because my husband is one of them. It's delicious, but mine is a lot simpler, just to like show the difference between the two, so people aren't like, "Oh my god, I don't do all that." Maybe that's why my turkey isn't good. You don't necessarily have to. Not knocking Connie's method, obviously. So I'm a little more old school. I don't brine it or anything. Just rinse it, salt the inside, put salt and pepper on the inside of the cavity before you put the dressing in there, obviously. And then I literally take butter and lift the skin up from the turkey and smear butter all over on the inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's another good way to do it for sure.
That's a good way to do it. And then once it's in the oven, every 15 minutes to half hour, closer to the half hour because of how long the turkey cooks, not under the skin this time. I baste it. I brush it with butter. So that's what makes it brown.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Actually, you might find this horribly adorable. So like it was like for like the first 2 hours, I don't remember if this is grandma's recipe or if it was just what I found online. They're like, okay, you leave it alone for 2 hours. Then after that, every 30 minutes you baste. Tom was so excited to baste the turkey. I was like, yeah, you can baste it. And like sometimes he wouldn't even wait 30 minutes. He's like, it's been 15 minutes. Can I baste the turkey again? I'm like, you can like calm down. Just do it every 30 minutes. You don't have to be basting it every freaking minute or else it'll never cook. But he was very excited about that.
And if you are using butter, just to throw this out there, because butter is obviously the thing that's browning it. If your turkey starts to get too brown, then you just cover it with aluminum foil. Just
yes,
FYI for the folks out there that haven't cooked it. Don't do what our
aunt did.
There we go.
Because she thought she started it. She's never done it before. She's always did it with the cheesecloth method that I talked about that grandma always does. And for whatever reason, she decided to put aluminum foil on to begin with.
Oh yeah.
And then she like tempered it in one place and it said it was done. Like, I think it was closer to the bottom. And so she took it out. She was like, okay, like, it looks good. And then she decided like to temper like the top to do the temperature and it wasn't done. And she's like, oh my God, the tinfoil. Like it was the tinfoil prevented it from getting brown and to actually finish cooking. Because she also thought it was weird that she stuffed the bird with the stuffing, which is like another thing. Some people do that, some people don't.
Yeah, and it needs to cook longer if it's inside the bird.
Yes. And when she was taking a bite of the stuffing that was still inside the bird, and she was like, wait, I shouldn't be able, like, it should be too hot for me to even touch.
Yes.
And that's what kind of tipped her off to like, maybe my turkey isn't done yet.
Oh my goodness.
And then was like an hour late because she thought it was done and it was not.
And it wasn't,
and she had to put it back into the oven.
See, mine has a tendency to get done early, but that's actually okay because then you can actually take it out of the oven, cover it with a bunch of cloths, and actually sitting is good because it reabsorbs the juices back inside. So you're actually better off doing that than what our aunt did.
And then also it lets you heat up any of like the sides that people bring because
yes,
I am totally one for delegating. I'm like, okay, bringing this, you're bringing that, you're bringing this because I'm not making all of this.
See, I'm such a control freak that I usually end up making everything. And the one time that I asked somebody to bring a couple things, they bought boxed mashed potatoes.
Oh, hell no.
Lost my shit.
No. See, that is where I am good because so I always make the turkey, the stuffing, and the mashed potatoes because to me, all of those things have to be homemade.
Oh,
They have to be
yes.
specific recipes.
Yes.
Like I am not willing to bring like I'm not willing to have boxed stuff.
Mm-mm. I
But
didn't know
where
she was
I
going to
don't
do that. If I knew she was going to do that, I wouldn't have told her to.
But where I know that I don't particularly care one way or the other is like the green bean casserole. I have my mother-in-law bringing. I have the sweet potatoes my sister-in-law is bringing. So I'm like, okay, like I know that those are fine. Like I know that they will do like the traditional
The right
versions of
way. Yeah.
those. Yes. I don't really have to worry about them doing something that I wouldn't like.
And by the
So,
way, just random side note from what I've noticed, most Europeans find it crazy that we cook sweet potatoes and marshmallows together. Like they think it's crazy.
I don't remember if they have if she my mom's version of sweet potatoes has the marshmallows, which I absolutely love.
It has to have the
And
marshmallows. That's what makes the whole thing. That's why they're candied yams.
yeah, they're great. It's delicious. I don't remember if my sister-in-law did it, but I don't particularly like I can't remember. I think she did maple syrup. It was like sweet potatoes and maple
Oh.
syrup. And she might have had the marshmallows, but I honestly can't remember.
You gotta
She
have
did
the
it last
marshmallows.
year, and I was like, it's good enough. I don't care.
All right, guys out there, let us know marshmallows or no marshmallows because we want to know.
You know what? And my mother in law, except for there was one part of it that I thought was nasty, she made the sweet potatoes one year. I was not cooking anything for this
Hmm.
one. And she had like, you know how they have for some apple pies, they have that like crumb topping
Yeah.
where it was that same type of topping
Hmm.
on the sweet potatoes. And I was like, this is not bad. The only thing that I was like that I did not like is that it was canned. It was
Oh, no, no, no,
canned
no, no, no.
sweet potatoes was the only thing I was
She's
I
so
was
mad. She punched her mic over.
yeah, I was not a fan of the canned, but
I've made those like that way with the crumble on the top because my husband's like favorite thing in the world is like the apple crumble, where you just make the apples with the crumble and the oats and stuff. So I was like, oh,
mhm.
let's try it with the sweet potatoes. And it came out really good too. And it was just nice to have something a little different. So that's good. So that was your favorite thing to cook. What's your favorite thing to eat?
Stuffing, especially grandma's
Hell
stuffing.
yes.
I can eat it all day, every day. It's absolutely horrible for you, but I love it. Like I could literally pass up every single dish except for turkey and stuffing, and I would be totally okay with that.
Oh yeah, that I agree. Stuffing is the absolute favorite because that's definitely something that you only eat once a year. It's
Oh
freaking
yes.
delicious.
I
Our,
never make stuffing it at any other time.
no, and our grandma's recipe, which we both are probably biased, but it is amaze balls.
Yes, it is. Also, like it's basically that and pumpkin squares because those are the two things I only ever really eat during
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving. And I don't know about you, but do you remember growing up? I don't remember having green bean casserole at all. Like that was
No,
like a whole new thing when I went
we
to my
just
in-laws.
we just had green beans, like just
Green beans.
plain
Yeah.
green beans. Yeah,
There was no yeah, it was like green beans with like
I
butter. It was never
still don't do green bean casserole, like unless somebody brings it. Like when I make the entire dish, I just make regular green beans or I make Brussels sprouts. I make some vegetable, just you got to compensate a little bit for all the other things.
yeah.
But yeah, I've never been crazy about green bean casserole.
Well, that's why I'm having my mother-in-law bring it because I'm like, I don't really care. If there was no
Hmm.
green bean casserole, it really wouldn't.
Yeah, it wouldn't
I
be.
wouldn't
Yeah,
be butthurt about it. It's fine. Like I can take or leave green bean casserole, but I did
yeah,
think like
same.
when I first had it, I was like, this is pretty good. Wait, why did we never have this at ours?
I love the one year one of our cousins tried to convince grandma on top of everything else to make deviled eggs, and she was like, "No, I make a bazillion other things. If you want deviled eggs, bring them."
Oh, I heard it the other way that then she started making them. Oh, wait, you know what? It was for Christmas. She made them for Christmas. She said, I won't do it for Thanksgiving. I'll make them for
Yeah, that
Christmas.
was the compromise because she was like, "I make
Yes.
too much for Christmas or for Thanksgiving already. I'm not making deviled eggs."
Yes. Yes. And like, and have, I mean, my mom would just say, oh, this is just everybody growing up. But I'm like, both our holidays, both Thanksgiving and Christmas, it's like it gets shorter and shorter and shorter every year. It's almost upsetting.
I
I'm
think it's
like,
because everybody has two families now. All the cousins are
yeah,
married.
I
So we
know.
all
That's what my
have,
mom says.
yeah, we all have more than one place to go. And grandma's older and she doesn't have the energy anymore. Like my mom said she was falling asleep at the last party. So I think that's the reason why I don't think it's intentional. And there are like last Thanksgiving I was at, no, I actually think it was Christmas. A lot of people left early, but then like a select few stayed for several hours. Like me and my mom and a couple of the aunts like hung around for quite a while, but like all the cousins and everything left.
I'm excited for this year because my in-laws, well, one set of my in-laws won't be here. So
Mm-hmm.
I am hoping to be able to like stay around a little longer.
There you go. Yeah, no, I'm the same. I like staying and being with the family, especially when we were kids, that
Oh
like
yeah,
we
that
wanted
was
to
the
get the dinner
best.
over and just be able to run around and play with each other and have a good time. And
Yes. Yeah, and mom was hoping that like I would start doing like Christmas at my house for everybody. But like I'm like not at this house, mom. Like my house is too small.
yeah,
I
yeah,
would
you want to
I
have a
would
bigger
do
house.
it. I would do it, but my house is too small. I mean, I guess now that one set of aunts isn't going to be there, I mean, I guess I could, but I was just like, yeah, I don't know. And I'm like, I want to create some sort of different tradition with like my kids.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really just tired because divorced people, it happens. So you have to go to all of these different Thanksgivings and
Mm-hmm.
Christmases and kind of sick and tired of it. And I'm
Yeah,
like, maybe when we have kids, I'm like, I'll just tell people,
to come to
hey,
you.
yes,
Yeah.
here's the day. We'll be like Christmas. You guys can come over from any time from like noon to 7 o'clock at night. You can come over at any time. I'm not going to anybody. I don't
Yes.
care.
I'm actually kind of hoping because we're going to buy a house that next year, well, if not next year, maybe the year after, that people will come to our house either in Virginia or North Carolina for Thanksgiving, like just to travel one year, like because everybody could drive, it wouldn't be that far. So I think like, and it'd be like a housewarming, come see our new house, come have things like, and we'll feed you Thanksgiving type thing. But we'll see
That's
if any,
fun.
I'll have to see if anybody would even be willing.
I mean, and it depends on who you're talking about because we had certain cousins that were in town last year and refused to come to my house because there just wasn't enough time.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I think like I'm sure like if you and Tom had time, like you would come and my parents
Yeah.
would absolutely come and my mom would bring grandma. So like I know some people would. It just we'll have to see.
Yeah. I would love to do that. And also like me and Tom have talked about like not obviously not this Christmas and not in 21, but like in 22, we would also like to go and have Christmas down in Florida with our aunt.
That'd be
And I was
nice.
like,
I'm sure they would
that
love
would
that.
be, but that would also be a good year to just do like, go, okay, go to think like, we're not doing anything this year for any holidays. We're going to go to Rietta's for Thanksgiving and then to my other
There you go.
aunt and uncles for
Make a
Christmas.
nice road trip out of it. No, I
Yes,
love that.
exactly.
I love that. I think that's great. And I don't know if it'll be able to happen next year anyway, because we have two cousins getting married next year. So there's already going to be all sorts of traveling. Well, I guess one won't be traveling, but it'd still be a together thing.
Yes. Well, I'm excited. All the things that are going on. So, what is your favorite thing to make? Because you already said what your favorite thing to eat is, and it's the same as mine because we clearly have the same taste buds.
We do. I mean, we grew up in the same house pretty much.
We're the
Well, in the
same.
same
It's fine.
family. Listen, no, I think I'm with you too. On my favorite thing to make is like the turkey and the stuffing. Like I like to make both of them because whenever I make the dressing, I feel connected not only to Grandma Shrink but my other grandma. Like I feel like I feel them like with me. Well, the one
Yeah.
that's passed away. So making the turkey and the stuffing just brings back fond like happy feelings.
Yeah. Also, isn't it kind of like a pride, like a part of like pride? Because you have you heard of the, I saw this last year. They were kind of making fun of it. Where there's like a turkey like hotline about like people fucking up and not knowing how to make like their turkey. So like I should like take pride in that I can do a really good turkey.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily like an automatic thing, you know? It takes a lot of time,
No, it does. Well, and
especially if you're me.
it takes just, time and patience and paying attention and like, you know,
And remembering to de-thaw the turkey and taking out the gizzards. Come on,
yeah.
guys.
Oh yeah, yeah, the people that don't well, and don't not only taking the gizzards out of the cavity, but you got to pull the neck out of the hole in the top. That's what usually people forget. Don't leave the neck in the hole.
Yes.
That sounded really dirty, but that's you guys get where I'm going.
I get where you're going. It's fine. Everything's fine. But
Because I'm pretty
yeah,
sure Grandma did that one year. She's like, "Crap, I left the neck in the hole," and we're all like, "What? You did what?"
it's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah, I mean, and
I
like let
think.
me tell you, I like started having more appreciation for our Christmas dinner after going to like some not so great, mainly boxed food
Oh yeah.
Thanksgivings. And then I was like, no. Like you got to do it properly. It has to be homemade.
This is the one time of year that you have no excuse not to be homemade unless you've got something going on.
Right? Yeah, for real. Now, I mean, they're trying to stop Thanksgiving as it is.
That's why like this year I'm like Jackson doesn't eat pretty much any of it. I am not cooking it. We're gonna buy it and we're just gonna get drunk and it's gonna be fabulous.
I love it. If somebody was going to like give me a service to just come and do, like give me the stuff for turkey dinner, I would totally do it. But that's not really a service that I'm offered. So
Yep. We got lucky that we
actually,
have that.
my one girlfriend was so she's like, yeah, I really need some like inspiration for like Thanksgiving. What should I make? And I sent her a screenshot of everything that's going to be coming to my house for Thanksgiving, including all of the stuff that I'm making.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, wow. I was like, yeah, well, if I didn't have one of these dishes, like people would probably lose their minds.
Yeah.
And then I got like a really weird last minute dish in this year that I'm now actually going to plan into the Thanksgiving meal because
Mm-hmm.
I did not like the way that it was turned out last year. My husband decided the day of Thanksgiving that not only did we need the list of all the regular Thanksgiving foods that people eat, but we also needed a baked mac and cheese.
Oh goodness.
So he went out to the store in the morning, bought mac and cheese, started like he made something. He made a mac and cheese. He added stuffing mix to it. It was very strange. Yes, he was using it because we don't have regular breadcrumbs in our house. So he used it as like breadcrumbs, just like the stuffing bread.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was very interesting, and I'm like, that not again. That's not happening again. I think this year I'm going to do crock pot mac and cheese.
Oh, there you go. That'll make it easier, and then it also saves oven space because you need the oven
Yes.
space.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
remember
did.
for Christmas, Grandma used to make not only like ham, but she made like ham and lamb and turkey, and
Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah. She was crazy. Not doing that. Like, but see, like I would do a ham in a crock pot and like have people come over for like ham and a few sides and stuff like
yeah,
that. Just have them come over to my house for like not appetizers, but like eat what you will, Here's some food. It's already out and it's all hot. The
yes,
end.
the
Like
end,
nothing.
yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know anymore. Because I talk a lot of not mean shit or anything. I just talk a lot about like, oh, I'm just not going to go anywhere. People can come to me. But I am such a pushover that I'm like, if somebody was like, no, you need to come, I'd be like, okay. Like, oh, you need to go this place or that place. I would just be like, okay, sounds good.
Yeah, yeah,
I think it's also different because grandma's still alive and we're still barely holding Christmas at grandma's house.
yeah. Well, everybody's like helping and bringing stuff at that point, but we'll talk about that when Christmas comes.
Yes, and we'll have another Christmas episode. So another part of Thanksgiving is being thankful. So, Rihanna, what are you thankful for?
There we go. Let's end it on a good note and an important note. We'll end it on what we're thankful for. I'm thankful that my husband is going to be home soon because I'm going to pull my hair out soon. If I haven't pulled it out already.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And of course, I'm thankful for my girlfriends that make it so that I have a sort of pseudo family to have Thanksgiving with.
Yeah, that sounds real nice. Mm-hmm. It's also really nice that you don't have to make anything.
Yes,
it like 10 times better.
Yeah, also that I don't have to cook because I usually spend many hours cooking. You know how it goes.
Oh yes, I do know how it goes.
So, What are you thankful for?
My turn.
My turn.
I'd have to say, because a lot of people are jobless right now, I'm very thankful for being laid off last year, not this year.
There you go. There's nothing wrong with that.
And just having a job this year is a job where I get to work from home on the regular, you know, not even like because of COVID, just in general, I work from home. I enjoy that. I am thankful for basically Tom and family, because Tom makes life different every day. I'm very good, though. I can't wait to see him excited over basting the turkey again.
Me either. Can you send me a video?
Oh, I will, because he for sure was excited. He'd be like, "Is it time now? Can I baste the turkey? I want to baste the turkey, honey." Okay, let me give you the baster.
Hold on a second. Let me get it for you.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, and this year it'll be even better because I don't know if you do remember this because it's your family too, but so another tradition, I know this is kind of going off topic of what I'm thankful for. I already said what I'm thankful for, my job and my husband and family. But all of our aunts used to like get together and make pies. And that's what I'm doing this year. Is my mom's coming over early and she's helping me set up and make pies. And I'm like, oh, this is
I love that.
Like, oh, it's reminiscent of.
I wish I could with you guys. I would love that.
Maybe one year, not this year.
1 year. Maybe next year.
Yeah, maybe next year. We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
All right. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Enjoy the turkey and the stuffing because those are clearly the best parts. So this is how to deal when shit gets real. Don't forget to check us out on the socials, and we will be here next week. Be sure to keep it real.